Hello buddy, Senior Engineer MBA and investor, and in today's video I want to talk about the latest news on CRISPR Therapeutics, of course on several of their programs. And this update came to us by Jas Binder on X.com, or known as Jesse, a very well-known person in the community. So again, shout out to that person in the X community doing all this amazing work for us to cover and to be updated in this space. And speaking of updates, I definitely needed this because I just came back from Vegas the past week. That's why we haven't had a video in almost 2 weeks now. I was in Vegas for work for a trade show, and I actually lost my voice. You may or may not be able to tell through the microphone here on this video, but I definitely lost my voice. It is coming back, but I'll probably need a couple of, maybe another day. So let's jump straight into it. So what I thought of doing is to cover the first update and to make another video for the second part of the update. And of course, this comes from the CRISPR Therapeutics latest press news on a conference that they gave, right? So it was in the Needham Healthcare Conference on the 10th of April. And I want to talk about sickle cell disease first, and then maybe in part two, we'll talk about the CAR T side of things, and of course, the other programs that CRISPR Therapeutics is working on. So a couple of bullet points here highlighted by Josh Binder. Again, the person who wrote all of this amazing summary for us. 100,000 sickle cell disease patients in the US alone. Nearly 20% have severe sickle cell disease, which actually is the population that this program is tackling. It's the severe sickle cell, not just sickle cell disease. He mentioned that after authorization, it takes 5 to 6 months to complete an entire treatment. There'll be a lag in revenue recognition, hence the important metric to focus on the number of patient starts. Okay. Vertex has a target established network of 75 authorized treatment centers across US, EU, and Middle East. They already have activated 12 in the US, 3 in Europe, 1 in Saudi, and are working on onboarding additional ATCs. And you basically need ATCs for all this to work, right? Because patients can't just get this delivered at their home. It doesn't work like that. This is ex vivo. You need centers, you need treatment centers that are vetted, that obviously require a lot of resources. So obviously initially there will be a lot of expenses, but of course we are talking about economies of scale at that point later on in 2024, 2025. If the centers do one procedure a month, they could have about 200 patient starts in 2024. I think one patient a month is conservative, and more centers will be onboarded throughout the year. I assume that 50% of the ATCs, which is 37, would be activated by year end, and balance would be activated in 2025. We should have better data in the year end of 2024 to forecast next year's patient starts. So about 200 patient starts. I think that's a fair case. I don't think that's a bear case, and I don't really think that's a bullish either. I think they can go well beyond one per month. Obviously, maybe the next 2-3 months it'll be one, but I think by year end you'll probably see maybe 2-3. I mean, that's just, I can't see them doing just one for one ATC in the long term anyways. So Sam did not provide a forecast of number of patients to be treated in 2024. Again, this is lagging revenue recognition. This will take time. Next 3-4 quarters will be more important to assess the trajectory of the product launch. He said Vertex will provide additional updates regarding expansion of centers. So again, people have to remember, Vertex is the majority owner of this program, not CRISPR Therapeutics. 60% is owned by Vertex. And the whole point of Vertex doing that is that when this topic comes about, when it comes to ATCs, commercialization, and so on, they will do what they do best, and they have a lot of experience. And that's why it's essential for CRISPR companies to partner with big pharma companies, because they don't have the resources, the personnel, and the experience to deal with the commercial part of what we're talking about here, right? So technology is a big part. Don't get me wrong. If I had to put a percentage, I would probably put technology at 70%. But you still have to recognize that 30%, which is commercial side of things. If you don't have the commercial side of things proper, then your profits are going to be down, your revenues are going to be low, and it's going to be a disaster, right? Okay. Vertex and CRISPR Therapeutics have their own ongoing initiatives for gentle conditioning targeted for sickle cell disease, and they are closer than investors expect. According to Sam, this will triple the adoption and will expand the total addressable market significantly. So, of course, they have a current program right now, but they will iterate, right? They will become a better program with a couple of changes, right? Think of like, I know this is a far-fetched comparison, but bear with me. Think of like the Model 3 of Tesla. When it initially came out, it was amazing. People loved it. But of course, the Model 3 refresh today is even better, right? And again, that was just in a few years span. So you got to expect the same for these programs, right? He also discussed in vivo initiative and damped my hopes of an in vivo sickle cell disease in the near term. He said it will take time because it is complicated as you increase efficiency of HSC editing. Simultaneously, you need to limit off tissue editing. So I feel like this was like a blow at base editors, of course, at Beam Therapeutics, or I'm not exactly sure why this was even mentioned that way by Sam. But I will say that I really don't see the point of in vivo when it comes to sickle cells disease. Ex vivo works. You have it approved now by the FDA. Should probably just stick to the formula and probably use in vivo for maybe another disease. Look, companies that are doing it or that are going to be doing it, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't bet all your eggs in that basket if that's what your company is relying on, which is in vivo sickle cell disease. You should probably now do in vivo with something else that has no cure, right? We do have an official cure now for ex vivo, for sickle cell disease, but with ex vivo. If you want to introduce in vivo because you have efficiency promises, then you probably want to tackle another disease because the FDA is going to be a lot more open and receptive to have a cure for something that doesn't really not have, for a disease that has no cure, right? And two, why would the FDA accelerate the approval of in vivo when they already went through it for ex vivo? I think the FDA resources all limited. They want to look at other things than just a particular disease that already have a cure now. So that's my, stance on that. But hey, shout out to, of course, Jazz Binder for putting this summary. Again, this is a well-thought summary here. I really like what sickle cell disease program, of course, we're talking about Vertex and CRISPR Therapeutics have done. Not a lot of mention of beta thalassemia here, but we'll leave it off like that. So again, next video we're gonna talk about the CAR T cell update, which I'm really excited. And I want to talk about the in vivo side of things with sickle cell disease. With CRISPR Therapeutics. Making lots of verbal mistakes here. Of course, like I said, I just came back from Vegas last night, actually. Around midnight, I got back home, and I can already feel my voice is it's acting up again just by me speaking, and I haven't actually used my voice since in the airplane yesterday. So anyways, as always, guys, subscribe if you're not, like this video if you have found value, and let me know in the comments what do you guys think about where CRISPR Therapeutics stand. Do you agree, disagree with Dr. Sam's statement here, the overview? Let me know in the comments below. See you guys in part 2 video.